Gotta love how my brain works. I see this and it makes me wake up even more. I'm just like, yes, I get to talk about the ripples, which is the name of the song in English. I get to talk about ripples and I get to enjoy it. The thing is, before we go into this, I know music is not my specialist area. I appreciate music. It does a lot of good for me. I know actually quite a bit about this song, not technical terms, but background behind some of the people involved in making this. More so Cecilia Cara, who, if that's, how you pronounce her surname, who I don't know if she's actually responsible for the lyrics for, but she's definitely the singer. She has origins in a performance of Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet in France, which was made into a musical. And when I heard the song, I knew her voice sounded familiar, so I looked back on material I covered over 10 years ago, back while I was at school, and found something called Emir, which is To Love, and it's a part of that musical. I remember this song, from the very tail end of my GCSEs 10 years ago. So yeah, I had heard her stuff before without realising, and had found it again, and was gobsmacked by how amazing her voice has, remained. The age in her voice, it's been 10 years, and it's just still so powerful. I don't know how actively she's a part of, doing musicals still or anything like that, because I didn't keep up with the artist. I just knew about one of her songs because I had heard it in English while we were studying the original play, because obviously it's a significant piece of literature from Britain that we take a lot of pride in, so it's a part of our GCSEs. Even now, I'm pretty sure it still is, because I've heard people who I know who are younger and tied to me talking about that piece of literature. Sorry, I am knackered. My brain's working, but I'm really tired, so my body is not going to be catching up with what I'm thinking at all. But let's go. I am actually anticipating this because I love this song. And I love all the fan reaction, all the content that's come as a result of it. A girl. Okay, so that's a neat bit of confirmation. Are we gonna see the other concepts? Also, I love that them saying Archon's gonna shut a lot of people up immediately. Yes, she is. Also specifying God. Sweet. Yes. That idol is still the cutest thing. That idol is also still great. The streaked hair is a really nice decision. Same goes for the heterochromatic eyes. Oh! I've seen people draw that design before. Just with a mask. I'm gonna guess that then that must have been a leak, which, by the way, I do not approve of. I've only seen on Twitter people drawing things because I love the character and I like the art. And I don't even, so, that hasn't been an official material before, so it has to be a leak. Yeah. Please make her ascend. My god. Yeah.
审判是最重要的公众活动，其本身也如演出般呈现。我们有很多与歌剧相关的文本描述，也有演出用的欧毕克莱歌剧院，但从来还没有机会把歌剧正式呈现在玩家面前。
Love that.
所以才有了将演出融入故事的想法。我们希望通过用弗琳娜最擅长的方式，让这个角色的形象更加立体。
Yeah, definitely worked.
也期待在这样的呈现中，让玩家了解，在比较跳脱的表面之下，他能够受到枫丹人喜爱和追捧的原因。
Definitely manage that.
本身我们在设计弗琳娜形象的时候，就考虑到了她作为大明星上舞台演出的需求。所以当 IP 老师提出要做
I think the frills are just an exuberant part of the coattail. It's not like a dress or anything. Yeah, it's designed sort of like one. It's absolutely beautiful.
弗琳娜的日常服饰基础是一套长礼服，搭配西方女性礼服寸裙样式的改良后摆，适合她出席茶会之类的高档活动。 也不会拘束他在舞台上的演出。在服装细节的设计中，我们找了很多经典的音乐剧、戏剧、
Not
电
surprised.
影作为参考，比如后摆上鱼尾造型的装饰，灵感就来源于小美人鱼。
Hey,
它可以展现
Forza.
出弗妮娜
That's
灵动的一
awesome.
面。而皇冠和绶带的样式，则是借鉴了欧洲皇
Makes
室最
sense.
喜爱的配饰。
And then
体现
the
出
little
弗妮娜尊贵的
frills
身
are
份。
on her legs are
从设
based
定上
on the
来说
judge
弗妮娜演出的地点是欧比克
and
莱
the
歌
old
剧院
regal
所以我们
attire.
最初的设想是为它做一支歌剧，但是当大家顺着故事线走下去，
I forget the
发
name
现
of
还是
it.
以音乐剧的形式更适合弗妮娜的演出。
They were around the
至于
neck
歌
instead
剧
they're on
的
her
古典唱
ankles.
法，音乐剧介于传统与流行之间，演唱方式比较通俗，演绎形式也更加多变，能
Nice.
更好地承载叙事功能。我们也希望玩家在延伸中既能接触到多元的艺术形式，并能比较轻松地理解和接受这些内容。所以在创作中也需要留意内容。
I also love how this song has basically made everyone who was like worried about the future Genshin's music kind of shut the hell up as well, because that was something that was going
如果
on.
说之前我们制作神女披冠是希望能够为玩家呈现一些传统，
Because one
那么
person
这次
left,
做新
apparently
人
that
其实更多是
values the
想要
entire
在
team
原
of,
神中给予玩
you
家
know,
丰
musically
富多
gifted
元的
creators
娱乐
in
体
this
验。
game.
记得第一次开
No,
会的
that's
时
not how
候
that
音
works.
频、音乐、策划、动画的同学都在，大家执行项目的
Give
意
people
愿
their
很
due
高，
credit and
都想要做
respect.
出一些超出玩家
It
预
doesn't
期
fall on the back
能
of
够为
one
玩家喜
person.
欢
There
的
are
内
so
容。
many
我们
talented
团队中有不少
individuals in
同
this
学原本就
company.
喜欢看线下演出，所以大家在一起讨论的时候也会思考，如果在原神中呈现音乐剧，会是一种怎样的效果？对于整个团队而言，
I hope they
这次
do
将
it
音乐
again.
剧与游戏结合
It's absolutely
是一个
amazing.
在制作中不断互相学习的过程。它符合我们一贯做产品的思路，请专业的人做专业的事情。
Yeah. Absolutely yes.
项目的启动非常高效顺利 ，IP 同学
Storyboards
搭了一个骨架
beautiful.
各个角色部门就立
It's
刻
always
开始
neat
发
to
现思
see
路。
them
动画完成
and how
工作
like
草稿
the
后
start
我们
actually
音乐组开
begins
始
for
萃
how
取
things are drawn.
出了歌曲的小样后 ，IP 开始填词。到了填词的阶段，大家想呈现出更原汁原味
It
的感觉，
definitely felt it.
所以一致认为应该采用法语。
Yeah.
当然，这也为后续的制作带来了一些
It definitely
困难。
sounds like something
对于
that
和历史
started
同
off
学
in
们
that
来说
language, because
法
when
语
you
是非常陌
translate
生
it,
的领域，创作中哪些法语音节可能会比较难以演唱，单词的实际发音是否能对应旋律和气口，这些对我们来说很难想象。
最早先是有了一版中文歌词大意，用来让团队理解影片内容是什么。后来进行到法语歌词延展的时候，对我
okay.
们来说还是挺有挑战的。这其中的沟通非常频繁，歌词和旋律出来以后，我们也是找到了法国当地同事一句一句
One
唱
of our
出来
local French
来感受节奏
colleagues
和
to sing.
卡点在
Okay.
什么地方最合
I
适
got really
一
confused.
起
It's
听
like,
哪
how does
些别扭的地
Cecilia
方需要
fit into
调整
this?
最终呈现出了很好的效果。
So then they
法
got
语
her
歌
in.
词创作出来后，山发同学与我们一起找到有一定乐理知识的法语老师，根据内容与 IP 同学反复沟通词义和音节，再进行试唱。后来又内部辗转，拜托了一位会声乐的法国同事帮忙录制了导唱 demo。在质谱和录音的阶段，所幸团队中有一位曾经选修过法语的普务同学，也提供了重要的帮助。
Look, this is the sort of talent on that team. You need to think about that before people out there make stupid
值得一
comments
提的
about,
是
oh,
在找到合
because
适的演员
someone's
后
missing.
我们在音乐层面的交流
Hey,
非
our
常顺
music
畅，这也
communication
印证
sweet.
了艺术可以突破语言共通。我们也增加了一次与不同语种音乐人的交流经验。
那在整体的执行过程当中，最困难的部分就是弗妮娜法语音乐剧演员的选角吧。最早接到需求的时候，我们是按照歌剧演员这样的一个方向去探索的。那其实就遇到了我们第一个难点，就我们既希望演员能够唱美声，但是又希望他的音色能跟角色日常的这个少女音色是相匹配的。但其实这个跟美声它本身的腹部发声方式就有一些冲突在。
不过在后期的不断讨论中，大家发现其实音乐剧的表现形式更适合我们想要传达的东西，同时演员的选择也会更加宽泛一点，演唱和台词在听感上也会更加匹配一些。
是的，然后在国内的话，这个领域它是没有一个很固定的规范化流程和标准的。
Okay, this is
我们按
neat.
照常规的工作模式去选角、去试唱，其实它是有一些阻塞比较大的事情在。比如说，我们觉得音色合适的演员，他的试唱可能不是特别的好。那如果说唱得特别好的老师，他的音色和整体风格可
The
能
question I have is the voice singing in the demo also
进
Cecilia?
展有点陷入僵局的。不
Because she wasn't credited there. There it is. Yeah.
非常的巧合这件事情。
Sweet.
当时恰逢 Cecilia 所在的剧团在
Oh, she's still performing it. That's
是
awesome.
在非常偶然的情况
That
下，
is absolutely
通过剧团
awesome.
寻找翻译的契机，寻找到了音色和唱功都符合我们期待的 CC。当时虽然不知道
Didn't realize she'd still be going. Hell yeah, that's awesome.
然后我们当时也是想着试探性的给他法国的经纪公司发了封邮件，然后我们也做好准备说，如果开录前的2周收不到他的回信的话，我们就算了。
Okay, so the
但没有想
singer
到
behind
我们第2天就收到他
the
本人
bit in
的
a
邮件回复
demo
然后
has
说
to be a
希望
different
能不能
voice
来
because
杭州跟
they
我
only
当
had
面
2
聊聊
weeks
这
to
件事情
potentially sort it.
然后我们就立即买票赶往杭州，当时时间还特别紧，上海到杭州当天的高铁票全都卖完了，然后最后买到了绿皮车的车票去的，也是一一个挺有意思的经历。甚至去之前
God,
也没有
that's
想过会这
awesome.
么顺利的合作，现在想想还是
What a
感觉很
great
神奇。
story. That's awesome.
Donc il y a un petit peu plus de 4 mois,
Hey.
j'ai téléchargé le jeu Genshin Impact
Our
sur mon
girl.
téléphone parce qu'on m'en avait parlé, que j'ai vu le visuel et que j'ai trouvé ça très beau. Donc oui, j'ai été agréablement surprise.
It's so weird that I can actually listen to her sing it and actually understand quite a lot of what she's saying because of my school days. That's so weird for me. When you do language in school, you're just like, this isn't going to be useful. And then it's an instance where it kind of shows how useful it really is to know a language. Somewhat. Obviously, I am not fluent. Do not try me with that in the comments. It won't happen.
Voilà, ça m'a permis d'être confiante dans cette collaboration ambitieuse et je suis très très heureuse de pouvoir l'interpréter et de pouvoir apporter voilà, ma vision artistique, en tout cas en tant qu'interprète sur cette chanson. Ce qui m'a séduite dans le projet et dans la proposition de Genshin Impact, c'est cette volonté d'associer
which is something not really done. I can't think of any other game that's actually done this so far.
Aux utilisateurs dans le monde entier de jeux vidéo
that I've like had exposure to.
Qui est la comédie musicale et qui n'est pas connue de tous. Trouver des points communs pour évoluer de façon.
It is quite niche. It's like opera. Opera seen as niche because normally there's quite a financial demand to even enter and pay attention to it in comparison to other art forms.
C'est très très agréable de
and then there's a reputation / stigma stuck to the people who do interact with it, unfortunately, because it's been kept apart from, you know, the lower classes.
需要我们在表现画面的同时传递信息，把之前埋下的悬念通过画面与歌词呈现给观众。核心是要给出玩家明确的提示。
Oh, trust.
保证每个镜头传达的信息
You give clear hints, and a lot of people are digging into the fact that there's a part about romance in this. And looking to Furina and Vaguelette and are just like, please. Please.
这个思考的过程其实比较漫长，在制作的阶段，我们从经典的音乐剧形式上做了变形，融入了更多的流行元素，同时需要与原神的内容风格做适配。这些部分是从分镜阶段就需要开始考虑的。 主要有2方面诉求。
I love the mask has the little thing on it. That's super cute. Hey, look at that.
另一方面呢，是想让各种表现跟音乐剧之间找到更加适配的度。我们以往的播片
I appreciate Mahoya for making special face masks for their staff. That's kind of great. You can see the homie rabbit.
故事里的角色是我们一直努力去做的事情。因为音乐剧歌词本身不是特别直白。 其实加大了观众的理解成本。
I know. I'd say that they're quite straightforward, to be fair, and there is some clear indications of what the lyrics are saying at times, like when it says the music puts a dance in our feet, nourishes the city, it then pivots towards the town, and then to you, my beloved, and then afterwards it pivots to, you know, the Oceanid of the story and her lover in that moment, and has the little bit of dialogue. Beautiful. Yeah, I've recognised the French towns. There's photos that I've seen, and because I had the option to potentially go to France once upon a time, I didn't take it because at the time expense, but it's a lovely place and I do want to visit it, even if I think that Paris itself is really, really overpriced to go to. I don't know if it's actually quite worth it. Like, to me, going to the places that are most famous takes away from the authentic experience normally. It gives its own experience, but... Hey, seeing it without a background, beautiful. Hell yeah. That's neat. I appreciate that as well. And they brought out the backing sounds without the actual vocals, which I love, because we're actually able to listen to what's going on in the back, and you can hear this like clear opera singing that's almost divine. It kind of makes you think that if we're relating it to the story, that it's focalors guiding her along. It's lovely. I'd recommend listening to it without the voice. And hey, look at her. The outfit was beautiful. Oh, yeah, lovely. And that's something that actually you need to think about as well. She's mentioning it now. Being able to show emotion on a stage is a massive key part of musical theatre performance, and it is something that only they really do well. It's like how you think a voice actor displays emotion without us seeing them. It's like they have to perform without incentive towards it somehow, and make that emotion clear for everyone in the audience. That's a talent.
Donc voilà, ça parle d'amour.
Yes, it is.
Ça parle de la proximité avec la nature, trouver la façon de
So we've got confirmation that she did not write it, which is fine. I'm perfectly happy with that. She still brought it to life.
Il y a un côté lyrique, onirique, voilà. Et le même plaisir aussi d'aller rencontrer ce personnage.
I hope that you return.
Qui est très touchant, très amusant, et que j'aime beaucoup. C'est très 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 chouette. En tout cas, musicalement, c'est aussi féerique que cette esthétique qui, moi, m'a tant plu au premier abord.
Now they choose to play it. Hell yeah.
也是一次宝贵的学习经验。这次的作品从词到曲都是由原神内部团队创作完成的。
Beautiful.
这其实也证明了我们能够突破语言和风格的限制，为大家
And it shows the pure talent in that team.
希望大家能够通过我们的作品了解和喜欢上音乐剧。
I appreciate them anyway, but this is just a nice little cherry on the cake for me.
娱乐区。原神的创作充满挑战与机遇。
Yeah, that's a beautiful piano.
旅行者的每一段旅途
Dino and Sons, yes.
令各位心满意足。所以我们从来没有停止内容形式上的探索。每当各位玩家来到一个新的国度，我们都希望通过这片土地存在的故事与文化，带去区别于之前旅途的情感体验。
Oh, trust they do.
并不容易，但我们所生活的现实世界。
And this is the most solid story provided to us so far, with absolutely no faults in it. Like, I can't pick apart anything about Fontaine and say I didn't like it. Meanwhile, there are aspects of all the other regions when it comes to their story inclusion that I can point out and be like, that was badly done, or that was not really the best thing you could have improved on. This one just fits together so well. Like, the only very, very minor complaint I had was about Meripede feeling too long in comparison to what I wanted to do, which was get the hell out of there and deal with Furina. It wasn't any sort of dislike towards Rivesley, it was the area was too cramped, repeating the same steps over and over again isn't entertaining, and I wanted to see more. So it's due to my own impatience, I believe. Absolutely amazing. But yeah, let's go back, just because I need to find the thing that I'm talking about, just for the sake of being specific here. I am not someone who gets involved in links. I don't approve of them. I think they're stealing the hard work of the devs, and a lot of cases I'm sure that people do it for the sake of their own profit, and I personally hope that all the people involved in doing it get caught, because, no offense, you're ripping off other people's hard work and taking away. It's like, I know that there's a lot of people out there who think, oh, it helps me plan in advance for things like gacha. If you're bad with money, then you should remove your card from the game and work on saving towards something until you come across something you really like. If you don't have the financial threshold to buy everything and be jump scared when something you really want comes along, then save. Just save on banners. It really does a number for you. Or be willing to spend that bit and support this company. The only thing you're doing is hurting the game by being unwilling. And if you really care about it, then you should actually be willing to support it, or at the very least, do your due diligence and try and save. You can't blame the game for releasing multiple good banners at a time. It's how they make their money to continue making it. Of course they're going to try and appetize people. They kind of have to, otherwise it's a non-profit thing. They don't get money from downloads and stuff, I'm pretty sure, because it's completely free. Everywhere. I don't believe there's a single country that charges for you to download and play the game. So it's just really stupid to me that people try and make arguments defending leaks. No, that's not how it goes. You can't claim to care about the company and then be unwilling to support them and actively endorse something that hurts them. But unfortunately, the fact that I've seen this image before, not the image itself, but I've seen Furina drawn like this before, and it led to a lot of confusion because I thought it seemed similar to Furina. I didn't like the art because I was like, this I've never seen through Honkai before. Is this like a fan design or something? No, clearly now I know for a fact that it had to be a leak because it appears in here. Quite early on. I just need an idea of where it was. It's like I'm using a...
和追捧的原因。
本身我们在设计福音
No,
娜
there's
形
her
象的时
actual
候，就
designs.
考虑到了她作为大明星上舞台演出的需求。所以当 IP 老师提出要做音乐剧想法的时候，我们是非常认同和支持的。适配的效果我们也很满意。当然，如果能让玩家感受到我们的日常良后版演出，电影《小美人鱼》的故事则是借鉴了
从最初的设计音乐，让玩家，比如副，当然在最终呈现的作品中，内容比较轻松，过于晦涩难懂。当然，女高
对玩家乐策划一些超出就生成音乐符合我。
搭了一个鼓后
Okay, it has to be a little ahead of that.
弗丽娜的传说任务私送之章的时候，
她的变装则是原福音娜表面
敏还是一位家喻户晓的大明。
福音娜是一位比较我们想做等等妆和发型，当中因为研发的限制和剧情。
It's this one. It's a very pretty design, don't get me wrong. Just, this is the first time I believe we've actually seen anything like this from Mihoyo. So it would imply any instance before today that this has been seen that it's due to leaks. It has to be. It can't not be because it's not a part of any material that the company has revealed publicly. And I would be willing to bet money that it's not in any art book because we only found out about Furina due to the trailer we got after Sumeru's End. We've never gotten any kind of pre-reveals on Archons before that point. So any information or any designs that come from Archons prior to the story tend to be from leaked material, unfortunately. And it's why I tend to avoid Twitter for these things. But ever since Fontaine's story reveal, ever since I finished Fontaine's story, I've been very actively on Twitter because I'm enjoying the art that people are producing, and I saw this design pop up just after I finished. I was just like, what the hell is this? Where's this from? I didn't like it because I didn't know kind of how to react from it, but clearly it had to be a leak. Stunning design, but I don't approve of the practice. I don't approve of people both proceeding to then leak the content, but then also on top of it, spread it around for the sake of themselves. And then on top of that, because people don't know any better, they'll then adopt spreading it around as well. It doesn't do any good for the company. You're not helping them. You don't help them make money. You don't help them with the initial impact it's going to have on players. All you do is hurt it. And if that doesn't kind of apply to your moral conscience on what you're doing, then that says a lot about how much you care about the game and the people that produce it. And if you don't like being called out on that, then don't do it. All in all, really good video, loved it. Love the way that the team went about creating this. I love that they might have learned from, like, that they believe that this experience was valuable and they could maybe end up I hope they do something like this again. It's awesome that they dug through doing it as a musical, even if it wasn't their initial aim. I'm glad they actually went away from opera, because they've included opera before, both Chinese traditional and in the backing tracks of some of these. Like, we have elements of opera already present. So they're introducing art forms to newer people who just haven't experienced them before, and I think that's really valuable. Even if music isn't my specialist area, I take a lot of joy in these forms of media. I don't have as much time to watch them anymore because unfortunately I'm busier, but it's still something I can go to and just shut my brain off and enjoy. Or more, not shut it off completely, but I get to relax to it. And all it's done is being introduced to this has made me hope in the future that I could actually see Cecilia Cara on stage, because that'd be awesome, because she's got such a powerful voice. It's actually stunning. It's also very interesting to see a design showing Twin Tails and Furina. Like, this one comes quite familiar because we see focalors' actual design, you know, who would be Furina completed, and there's a lot of similarities between the two. This one's kind of close to her actual final design, just with longer hair. And because it's longer, they actually give it more volume to make a point of it. This one is actually a kind of weird... It's kind of close to the original, sort of, aside from more volume up here, because this is spreading out further than our actual twin tails at the back do in the final design. I love that the ahoge has been present the entire time, though. That's really good to me and funny. Because it is one of the most identified features now. It is something that I'm pretty sure if you showed a silhouette of, like, a bunch of characters, it is, like, the way that we'd identify Furina if you don't get her twin tails coming from the bob. If you saw just the ahoge, you'd be like, Furina.